Sometimes the scariest monsters are not the ones under your bed, but the ones that you are closest to and love the most.
I have a secret, and I know I shouldn't be telling anyone this, but my grandfather is Santa Claus. It feels good to finally be able to say this to someone. Growing up as the grandchild of Santa isn't easy. You have no idea how many times I wanted to tell the kids at my school. This would have made making friends so much easier. I never really had any. My parents didn't let me see my grandfather often. They would remind me of how busy he was. But whenever I did get to see him, it was the happiest times that I can remember from when I was little. His house felt magical. It was filled with treats and toys. It was a child's wildest dreams come true. Mom was usually nearby, and the visits were short. But every time my mom wasn't around, my grandfather would pull me aside and remind me of how important it was never to tell anyone about him. My grandpa trusted me a lot. The only reason he told me he was Santa is because he said I was special. I never saw them, but the things like reindeer were off limits. If I could be a good girl, he promised he would show me the workshop one day. He told me the secrets are important, and if I ever told anyone about him, Christmas would be ruined forever and go away. Even though he warned me not to, there were times I would look through Grandpa's house searching for the things that only Santa knew about. It was hard to sneak away, with my mom always keeping a close eye on me. The best excuse I'd come up with is that my tummy hurt from all the treats, and I'd have to use the bathroom. One time, tucked away in Santa's dresser, I found pages of names. This was maybe the second best piece of proof I had ever seen with my own eyes that Grandfather really was Santa. I was sure of it. I found his naughty and nice lists. I could hear footsteps coming as my mom frantically called out for me. I really wanted to find my name on that list, but I had to tuck it away before my mom saw, because I didn't want to ruin Christmas forever. It was on one of the rare visits I got to spend time alone with my grandfather that I finally saw it. The thing that convinced me the most that it was actually true, that Grandpa really was Santa. I was able to sneak off outside and catch a glimpse of his workshop. From the outside, it looked like a great big shed, surrounded by large pine trees. It was tucked away good and hard to find. You can imagine how happy I was seeing Santa's workshop for the first time. I was so excited, I ran to the only window I could see, hoping to catch a glimpse of the reindeer. But what I saw was so much better. It was elves. Well, it was only 2 of them. I can tell you firsthand they looked and dressed nothing like the ones you see at the mall, taking pictures with the fake Santa. For one, they looked much younger and sad. I didn't get much of a look at them before my grandfather caught me. I had never seen him this furious. He scared me even. As he pulled me away from the window, I began to cry. Inside, he calmed me down with some warm hot chocolate and treats. Grandpa always had the best snacks. It's why all of the neighborhood kids loved him. Before my mom and dad came to pick me up, he reminded me over and over that if anyone knew about him or his workshop, Christmas would end forever. He said the elves were sad because every Christmas was hard on them, as this is when they worked the most. But I shouldn't worry. After Christmas, there would be a big party where they all got to celebrate. He even told me that when I came back to see him, he would finally take me to the workshop himself. I was so excited to finally be included in some of the magic. I promised Grandfather I wouldn't tell anyone about what I found today. That was 2 years ago. I never told my mom about the things that I saw at my grandpa's house. but she got really mad when I told her I was going to a special party with Grandpa, but I shouldn't talk about it. My mom yelled and yelled at Grandpa. I never got to see him again, and it made me sad. I guess the only reason I'm telling you all of this, you and the other policemen already know the big secret. My grandpa is Santa Claus. And now that the world knows, this has been the first winter I can remember without snow. All Mom and Dad do is fight now. I've even heard them talk about getting a divorce. My parents are angry, and they tell me that Grandpa isn't Santa, but I know better. Because my grandpa was right. If the world were to find out about him, Christmas would be ruined forever.